we're gonna go over the 1025R and its updates for the model year 2025. Super excited to bring you some of these changes. These are some marked improvements over our last year's model. They are small incremental changes like we've talked about before, but those little incremental changes start to add up over time. And so with the introduction of LED lighting a couple of years ago, the better seats, those kind of things, and today is no exception. We are going to add a few more awesome features to take the 1025R to the next level. So the first one is going to be under the hood. It is going to be an air restriction monitor. This is going to help us. It's going to be right here on the side of the air box, and this is going to help us to visualize if there's any air restriction when the machine is going. We've had some of these in the past. I'm glad that they've brought this back, but it's an easy visual indicator to make sure that my air cleaner is absolutely performing it to its maximum level. Let's talk about one of the greatest features that we're bringing to the 1025R this year, tandem hydraulic pumps. We've seen this in some of our bigger tractors for years. Bringing it down to this level is kind of a game changer. This is going to allow me to do a lot of loader work when I'm steering. You're not going to get any of that parasitic loss that you may be used to when I'm actually doing two functions at once. This thing is going to be a great enhancement. Additionally, because of that tandem pump, you're also going to get a little bump in PTO horsepower. I was playing around with this tractor a little bit ago, and I was noticing that it seemed a little easier when I'm driving around to get that loader to do multiple functions at the same time. I think that's a testament to that tandem pump. That pump is, it's definitely doing its job. Let's talk about one more awesome feature when it comes to the hydraulics in this. So again, this one's not visible, but because of the new way they've done the hydraulics in this tractor, this is third function ready. What do I mean by that? Well, it's just a lot easier to hook up a third function valve to this tractor. It's routed a lot easier and significantly reduces the amount of time that our service department takes to put that on. So that's going to mean a reduced cost to the end user because I'm no longer having to put multiple hours of labor time into putting a third function hydraulic kit on. Let's chat about one of the things that I actually didn't see in the book, and that is going to be a change in placement of the single point hydraulic connector. If you were looking at a 1025R from model years 24 and before, you were going to see that that hydraulic connector was actually up here a little bit and a little bit closer to the tractor. So you took up a lot of space right in this position. Well, what did that do? It wasn't necessarily a bad design, but it also restricted the ability for me to get into the side of the engine easily because this was a bolted on part. So they've moved that single point hydraulic connector down and away a little bit. I actually think this is going to be a lot better. But I will share, I'll jump up here and show you this. I'm not sure it's as easy to get to from the seat. So it used to be right up here, easy on, easy off, but I will tell you, it isn't difficult. I can still reach it. So I should be able to get that from the driver's seat. It's just in a little bit different position. I don't think that's a huge problem because you're not taking your loader on and off constantly anyways. So a little bit moved out to the side. I think that's probably going to be better overall, especially when I want to have access inside my engine. Next thing we're going to talk about is up here in the driver's compartment. It is the introduction of the USB-C port. That USB-C port is going to be to bring us online, just taking us up into the modern era. They're adding that USB-C port. They still do have the 12-volt charger right next to it, so you get the best of both worlds. 12-volt charger and USB-C charging right there on the side. Great features. The next thing we're going to talk about on this 1025R is the smart connector coming equipped straight out of the factory. That smart connector is going to connect to an app on your phone that's going to give you a lot of enhanced visibility of what your tractor's doing. So it's going to give you a little bit enhanced version of the telemetry that you can look into. You can also check trouble codes, have those trouble codes easily accessible. So if you have an issue, you can take it into your service department. Additionally, you'll be able to track your maintenance. So those maintenance will all be trackable, and it's gonna be off of the hours. So again, it keeps track of it for you, sends it to the app, tells you, okay, it's time to do a little maintenance on the tractor. You're at your interval. Not just relying on your book anymore. You have the ability to check that with a little bit of technology. Let's talk about one of the coolest features that's gonna be front and center from your driver's compartment. And that is the improved display. This display is easier to read, it's more refined, so it's very, very simplistic in design, has a lot of great places for, warning lights and that kind of thing, but at the end of the day, is just a simpler design, and it looks just a little bit more advanced. So, tying it all together, an increased or an improved design on the dash. I think that's a welcome change. I think the one thing that I probably wish they would have done is move the fuel gauge up to the dash. It is still easily seen off to the left-hand side from the driver's compartment. I wish they would have integrated that, if I'm being completely honest. But other than that, I think it is a knock it out of the park display. Easy to read, easy to use, great feature, awesome addition to model year 25. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. On John Deere's website, when they released it originally for the model year 25, they had a build your own tool that you could go in there and build this tractor. Well, there was an option for that air ride seat. Unfortunately, we have not seen that air ride seat come to fruition. If it does, I will update this video and include it so that we're eliminating confusion. But as of right now, and this is early 2025, that option is not available. So you cannot get this with an air ride seat. You do get the suspended seat. It is a great seat, cut and sew. Obviously, you're gonna have the embroidery like we've had for the last couple of years. Great features on there, but unfortunately, air ride isn't here quite yet on this model. This is just to inform you, to educate you, and make you aware there is some great advancements on these tractors. We'd love to share these tractors in person, so come on down, get yourself a test drive. If I missed something, please comment down below. I'd love to add it in there. Again, we've created a really good community of people answering other people's questions in the comments on there. Please like and subscribe. We will see you again soon on Papé Toolkit. Hi, my name is Jason Hughes. I'm a territory manager out of Eugene, Oregon. I'm also a large property owner and own a lot of the equipment that you see featured in these videos. I hope you find this content helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below.